Step into the vibe, oh yeah. Feel the rhythm rise high. We're living life, let's fly. Off tap life. Sky's the limit, no shy. Off tap life.
All right, the real reason that Mike Tyson lost is not what you think. I know a lot of people think it's because of his age. It's because of he's 58 years old, but that's not exactly the answer to why he lost. I'm going to tell you the real reason he lost, and that is simply called inactivity. Okay, look, 20 years or something like that, he hadn't boxed. He's only spent the last 6 months allegedly, and part of that he was injured, attempting to get back into shape. Like, you got to be real. Like, let's say if Mike Tyson had been active this entire time until 58, like he was constantly continuing to practice and, you know, train, even if he wasn't in big fights, but he was still actively boxing and training and doing the things that boxers do, you know, like in his off time. If he would have stayed active, if he would have stayed fit, if he would have stayed doing what he's doing, he would have been much, much better. It's like anything. If you stop doing anything, no matter how old you are, for a long period of time, you'll lose it. If you stop, you lose it. That's the reality. It doesn't matter who you are. It doesn't matter how old you are. If you don't continue to hone in on your craft, to continue to put the hard work, the practice, the effort in, the training in, you'll get crappier. Like, it's just a thing. Like, you know, so yeah, he's become older, but his age, if he would have just continued to all this time be about it, you know, the boxing lifestyle, the boxing life, and still putting in the work, you know, like during the week, instead of only just suddenly, like, you know, the past 6 months or whatever, kind of being like, oh, you know what, I think I'll do this boxing fight. And then, you know, between that time getting injured and having downtime where you couldn't train, and attempting to come back and get into tip-top condition after not doing it for 20, 25 years, 30 years, however long it's been. Like, come on, seriously, anyone is going to be not at their peak. It doesn't matter how old you are. And if someone was to absolutely continue from, you know, when they're in their prime, and just continue doing the thing that they love, and they continue to put in the work and effort in, I promise you that they would have been 3 times as good as what, you know, Tyson appeared to be today in that event. So, you know, you can say, if you say age, you could say it's not because of his age, but because he did nothing as he aged. And there's a big difference. If you don't do anything and you just allow yourself to just become older without continuing anything, you're going to, of course, just lose whatever you had in the first place. It's the reality. So, you know, I think that all things considered, though, you know, the fact that he, you know, with just a minimum amount of training, was able to get in there, and the first 2 rounds, he won the first 2 rounds. So, I mean, he imagine if he could have kept up the same energy levels and not getting tired, not losing his legs, you know, like in the next 6 rounds after that, if he could have just maintained that, he could have got the W even in his, you know, just lesser self. Now, if you take that into the equation and go, okay, well, since he won the 2 rounds and he was not even nowhere near to where he used to be, imagine again if he had continued all this time to put in the work, to practice, to train, to, you know, just stay active, you know, just keep sparring here and there, you know, nothing too crazy even. He wouldn't have had to do it, but it's just about keeping the flow going, keeping your mind in that mindset, keeping your body, you know, muscle memory, keeping all these things, just continuing to, you know, stay tuned like a car. You know, again, if you don't keep something tuned, if you leave it parking and sitting there for 10, 15 years, why do you expect that suddenly you're just going to be able to just hop in and start to key and it's going to be perfect? You know what I mean? So I believe the real reason is inactivity, and I don't believe that is solely based on, oh, he's 58. Like, realistically, 58 isn't that old in the big scheme of things in 2024. 58's the new 38. And he could have performed like he was 38 had he, again, put in the effort over these past 2 decades, you know, to continue just doing what he's done, you know. And there's also other stints in his career, like, you know, when he ended up in the 90s, he ended up in jail a bit. There was periods of time where he, you know, just wasn't actively doing what, you know, he loved to do. You know, like, I just think, again, inactivity is the biggest culprit in this case. I believe that's what really, you know, hurt him the most. Inactivity this past 2 decades, the past 3 decades. And I believe anybody else, like, if, I mean, I don't have an idea of who I could use as an example right now, but I'm sure somewhere there is some type of fighter, you know, whether it's an MMA fighter, martial artist, a freaking boxer, there's somebody somewhere who never stopped, and they just kept on all this time, just keeping, you know, fit and keeping, you know, putting in some type of effort and training continuously throughout this whole period of time. And, you know, not just suddenly, you know, hopping back and like, there's someone out there that at 58 could definitely freaking put up a much better fight. You know, I think that Tyson let himself down because Tyson believed that he was in better, I guess, because he is such a champion and such a beast and everything, that he would be able to just kind of just walk in there and get back on the bicycle, you know, and just, it would all click once he was in the ring. He probably just thought, oh yeah, all I need is one punch in this YouTuber and I'll just freaking just boom and it'll be done. Like, he probably underestimated himself, right? I don't think he underestimated Jake. I think he underestimated himself and where, again, he really was in reality from a, you know, physical perspective based on 2 decades of inactivity. You know, I think that's what it is. I think he's, oh yeah, it's easy. I'll put a little work in. I'll be able to just go in there, freaking just one punch, 2-minute rounds, easy, you know? And that's probably what he thought, you know? I really think that if he had more time, that's why Tyson's answer when he was asked, would he consider boxing again, or was this his last time? He said, I don't know. It depends on the situation and stuff, because I think he knows if he was to keep at it right now from where he was to this point, and if he would have just kept at it now, just kept at it and kept at it and kept at it, like over the next year, right? He would only be 59. And then I think if he put in a full, like, 1 year of just staying completely active, completely training, not stopping for anything, and really putting in the effort, I think he could have another fight and he would look 2 times as good as he did to this time, you know, maybe even 3 times. But the damage has kind of been done in 2 decades, 3 decades of inactivity, because, you know, there is a thing, like, when you do get older, a lot of people do lose some of that motivation and that ability to feel like they even want to go into the gym and work out for freaking 4 or 5, you know, hours in a day, or, you know, whatever the case is, you know what I mean? Like, so I think that if he had have just been active and not taken so much time away from boxing, I think the result would have been very different tonight. But, you know, we were all hoping that he could just kind of just, you know, probably what he was hoping too, that he could just go back in there, 2-minute rounds, 1 punch. That's all I need. This YouTuber, I got it, you know. And unfortunately, yeah, it just wasn't really in his ability to do so with so much inactivity for so long. That's what really hurt him more than anything, is inactivity. That's what hurts anyone, is inactivity. Inactivity is your biggest thing that's going to hurt you the most, no matter what it is that you do in life. So you got to stay active. And if you stay active physically, mentally, doing that thing that you love, that you're passionate about, and you just never stop, you just keep on doing it, you're going to fare a lot better than what Tyson did tonight. So that's my opinion, but you can share your opinion in the comments below. Let me know why you think he actually lost. But I think that's the real reason he lost. Not because he was 58, because Jake couldn't even put him down in 8 rounds there. Jake couldn't, you know, Tyson's defense was still very good. His defense was really tight, and Jake couldn't even put him down, right? And again, yeah, I just think that, imagine Tyson only needed to be as good or slightly better than he was in the first 2 rounds, or at least on par, and the outcome of the fight would have been different. Because he did get a couple punches in on Jake, you know, but, you know, his legs, he lost, once he lost his legs, he lost his ability to freaking, again, it's inactivity, you know, you're going to lose your legs, your ability to have the stamina that you need in different things when you're just not actively doing the things, whatever it is that you want to do. You know, you'll fare way better if you are constantly active. That's the facts. So anyways, let me know what you guys think. You know, it was kind of a disappointing overall event because, you know, I feel like, unfortunately, Amanda was robbed, and I think a lot of fans feel like they were robbed, not intentionally, you know, in terms of the Tyson fight, but I feel like they feel they were robbed because I think everyone had this expectation, including myself. You know, I thought that maybe he can just go back in there and just, you know, just get that one punch. But inactivity, man, it'll hurt anyone. So anyways, thank you guys for watching. Subscribe, give me that thumbs up. Apparently it helps. And if you guys like fight content, if you guys like this kind of stuff, you know, well, I do it from time to time, so go ahead and subscribe. I also do a zillion other videos, lots of reactions on music and all kinds of stuff. So there's something for everyone on this channel. So yeah, become part of the family. And as always, remember to live to the fullest. Keep it off tap. Off tap.